Yo, people. So it took a minute, right? It dropped in May and it's just come on Disney Plus. So I finally got round to watching The Little Mermaid, the live action edition, right? This was directed by Rob Marshall and written by David Magee. Um, Yeah. So it is produced by, let's have a look, Mark Platt, Lin-Manuel Miranda, Rob Marshall, and John DeLuca. It is executive produced by Jeffrey Silver. It is co-produced by Michael Zimmer, Ben Horworth, and Russell Allen. Associate produced by Michael Goosen, Mira Jagani, Jennifer Lane, and Caroline Roberts. So, yeah, there we go. Alan Menken handled the music. Dion Beebe, cinematography. Wyatt Smith edits the piece. Casting was Tiffany Little Canfield and Bernard Toolsey. John Meyer handled production design. Art direction, we have Kevin Timon Hill, Vicky Stevenson, Niall Maroney, Leandra Lagrange, Elaine Kusmishku, Simon Easley, and Lauren Briggs Miller. Set decoration is Diana Samulia, Gordon Sim, and Katie Walker. Colleen Atwood handled the costumes, right? And our cast. Well, people, we have got Ariel, played by Halle Bailey. Right, her dad, King Triton, was Javier Bardem. Um, mm, mm, mm. Right, her sisters, I believe, are Perla, played by Lorena Andrea, Indria, played by Simone Ashley, Mala, played by Carolina Conquet, Tamika, played by Sienna King, Karina, played by Kajasa Mohama, Caspia, played by Natalie Sorrell. Right, I think they're the sisters. We've also got, of course, Eric, played by Jonah Hauer-King. His mother, the Queen, is played by Norma Dumezweni. Sir Grimsby is played by Art Malik. Then there's Sebastian, played by David Diggs, voiced by David Diggs. Flounder, voiced by Jacob Tremblay. Scuttle, voiced by Aquafina. There's Ursula, played by Melissa McCarthy. Vanessa, played by Jessica Alexander. Lashana, played by Martina Ladd. Rosa is played by Emily Coates. Hawkins, Christopher Fairbank. Mulligan, John Dalglish. Our cabin boy was played by Matt Carver. Joshua, played by Jude Akawodike. yeah, I kind of think that's probably the main group of people. Like Triton's two guards were played by Russell Ballou and Adrian Christopher. Yeah, then there's just a lot of kind of dancers and market vendors and the like, right? So I think that's the main bunch. Now, the gist: the youngest of King Triton's daughters, Ariel, is a beautiful and spirited young mermaid with a thirst for adventure, longing to find out more about the world beyond the sea. Ariel visits the surface and falls for the dashing Prince Eric. Following her heart, she makes a deal with the evil sea witch Ursula to experience life on land. So there you go. Now, obviously, right, this is a live action adaptation from the 1989 animated Disney film, right, which was then in turn based on Hans Christian Andersen's book from 1837. So there's a lot of history in this, you know, and I have never seen a cartoon, right? It's just one of them things, man. Like, yeah. I think it's because it came out in 89, right? So I'm now in secondary school. You know what I mean? I'm looking at bigger films, right? I'm trying to see 18s and shit, right? I don't want to be messing around with PG shit. You feel me? So yeah, there's it's that era where yeah, there was a lot of Disney stuff that I just never got around to seeing. And yeah, there's still stuff that I just haven't seen yet. Now it's all on Disney Plus, so maybe I will take a step back in memory lane. Who knows? But anyway, I digress, people. So visually, right? Well, the ocean stuff here does look magical. Does look magic. I ain't gonna lie, right? It looks nice. Looks real cool and just ethereal. And the mermaids look pretty good. It's a little confusing, right? It's a little confusing because they've got their tails. And then, obviously, this is a kids' film, right? So we are not trying to show mermaid breasts, right? So they've got scales like covering the breast area. And they've done it so the scales covering, that area look like bikinis. But it makes no sense because then you've got like the midriff area that's clear of scales, So it's just like, wait, what? So you've got the tail, then all the scales stop, then they've got strategically placed scales and nothing like it doesn't. It's a weird visual, right? It's a weird, and as I'm look, it's a kids film. I'm not saying show breasts, but I'm just saying I feel we could have done a better job on the scalage. You know what I mean? Because it just looks a bit weird. Looks a bit weird. We've got like Scuttle, Sebastian, Flounder, which are all fine. They do look obviously like CGI. There is a lot of stuff that does look pretty obvious that what it is, which I think I don't know. Like if I can see it, then it's probably glaring for other people, right? And I'm just like, do you bother making this live action if you can't have that look like it's natural? That's I think that's one of the big things. It's like, do you bother? You know, Like there's certain effects that look really good, like Ursula's tentacles. They look pretty good in some instances, right? But yeah, there's some of the effects do look a bit odd. Story-wise, because I haven't watched the cartoon, so I don't know how true to the cartoon this is, what changes may have been made. But I did find it confusing. The story was mad confusing for me, right? Not confusing that I didn't understand what was going on. I understood what was going on, but just the rationale for what was going on didn't necessarily make any sense to me, right? Because you've got Ariel going, oh, the land is fascinating, and oh, all of these people are so good. And I'm just like, how much research have you done? Because when there's clear evidence, like they've killed her mum, humans killed her mum, but there's no, okay, so I know some are bad and some like, but it's just like, oh, but only one or two must be bad. It's just like the majority must be good, right? There's this weird thing there that doesn't really make any sense, you know? But you have to look at like fishing. Like fishing. We know back in the day, especially like when it came to whaling, you know, they would, and the Japanese still do a lot of whaling, right? I mean, there's nations that still do a lot of whaling. Um, so we know that happened, right? So we're just saying that, oh yeah, no, everyone's cool. Like there's this, there should be this clear evidence that there's things that people do that are a bit fucked up, right? The excess fishing. I heard some things saying that by 2040 there will be no fish left in the ocean, right? Which I feel could be hyperboil, right? But it is true we do overfish. You know what I mean? So yeah, for her to be like, oh yeah, all humans are great. Like it just seems a weird rationale. Especially we start off the film with the humans trying to kill a mermaid, what they think is a mermaid. Right. So these whole processes and mindsets are very odd. And yes, at the beginning, the humans are all against the people from the sea. There's no love lost on either side, right? So we have all of this. And it's just, there doesn't seem to be any logical, okay, this is why our views change. It's like in Monsters Ball, right? Where Billy Bob Thornton's characters are racist, but he fancies Halle Berry, which, I mean, there's plenty of racists who dabble with someone who they, objectify, right? But they'd be like, you're okay. It's the others we hate, right? It's all of that kind of thing. But they're still racists. You know what I mean? And I don't, in that film, we never saw the actual transition, I felt. And it's the same with this. I don't think we really see the transition. It just goes from hatred to then, oh, we accept everyone on both sides, which is just like, what just happened? What just happened? This film is 2.5 hours. It does feel long, right? It does feel long. I'm just like, I don't know if we need it this long. There's a lot of just hokey things, right? It's like the deal with Ursula. She doesn't actually agree. You know what I mean? Like we just hear her go, actually, this is wrong. And then Ursula just steals the voice, right? Which is just like, wait, what? You know, so there's that was weird. But then it's you've got 3 days. 3 days. Now, we know people that wake up from comas, people that have horrific accidents, it takes them months to learn how to walk again. It takes months to learn how to walk again. Ariel, you know, she's gets given shoes, high heels as well. High heels, right? People like little girls when they first put on high heels, they're like fucking baby giraffes. So the fact that she stumbles a few times and then she's just walking, it's just like, what up? What up with that? Like, should we be looking to harness mermaid stem cells to enable people to learn how to walk quicker? Is that what this film is telling us? Right? Is that what the Little Mermaid? Is that the big thing? The message that Han Christian Andersen really wanted to get to the people? We need to harness mermaid stem cells. I think that could be it, right? But yeah, it's just things like that, right? It's just this ability to then function in the human world when supposedly you know nothing, right? The film is a musical, and the first song we hear Ariel sing is very odd, I thought, just because there's a lot of, she's singing and then she's just like, oh, and I want to go on land and go in, what do you call it? A car. And then I'll do this. And what do you call it? Oh, a plate. And it's just like, why are you doing that? Because when you forget something, it's usually fuck, what's the name of that thing? It's it's a thingy bob. It's a blowy horn, trum giggly trumpet, that's it. Right? It takes a minute, right? You don't go, oh, what do you call it? A car. Oh, what do you call it? Oh, a snorkel. What do you call it? But like, what are we doing? The song was just nuts. The song was nuts, right? Now, I've not seen the cartoon, but there's certain songs that were played all the time, right? Under the Sea, and so they threw those ones in. I don't know how many new songs compared to old songs. I imagine there was a mix, right? But the thing that was real squirrely was the fact that when she's now on land trying to woo Eric, she's singing, but she's not singing, right? It was kind of like, what the fuck is happening here? I don't know if she loses her voice in the cartoon, but I'm just like, if she doesn't have a voice, we can't have singing because it's not logical. It makes no sense. I just thought that was some hokey shit. I thought that was some hokey shit. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about it, people, but to me, that was weird as fuck. That was weird as fuck. But here's the thing, Little Mermaid is not a film made for me, right? This is made for little kids. And I do think, right, little kids will probably enjoy this, right? You've got talking crabs, seagulls, and fish. The whole fish thing, they're probably like, it's like Finding Nemo, right? So I think that bit's gonna be a little magical. You got the mermaids, and they made the mermaids all mad bright colors, which a little problematic, I would imagine, right? So bright colors, you'd think, wouldn't you want them to be kind of chameleon, right? So they can blend in with backgrounds. So, maybe the scales change, right? They're alternating colors, right? So they can camouflage. But being so bright, you're going to get fucked up by sharks. We only saw one shark in the film, which I'm thinking, come on. You're in the fucking, you're in the deep blue sea, motherfuckers. There's going to be more than one shark, right? It's going to be more than one shark. So, yeah, but the colors, the bright colors, you know, is going to be pleasing for kids. So I think this probably works very well with little kids, you know? As a grown ass motherfucker, I'm like, yeah, this is nonsense. Like, people don't change their opinion on things that quickly, right? Nothing in this film really showed me how they're falling in love, right? I'm like, yo, you can get to know someone, you could like someone, right? But you ain't in love, motherfuckers. What the fuck? Like, and it didn't show me how you're in love, you know? So that those were the things for me, right? But I don't, but little kids ain't gonna be picking up on that shit. They're just gonna be like, oh my God, they're in love. Oh my God. Oh, look at this. Look, she's a fish. Now she's a human. Whoa. You know what I mean? Little kids are gonna love it. So, yo, it is now on Disney Plus, but you can also get it on Apple, Amazon, just all them places. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you want to keep your kid busy for 2.5 hours, maybe Little Mermaid could be the one. Could be the one. I mean, you know, but if you like all those live adaptations, Dumbo, Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, you know, there's probably others that I've forgotten, right? If they're your jam, then you're probably gonna like this, you know? So yeah, think about those things, people. Think about those things. But not under the sea because you will die. You know what I mean? You need oxygen. You need air, right? So do the thinking on land. All right? The Little Mermaid live action.